Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday to all of you. I am still getting caught up from being away, but I am trying to do all the things I normally do, plus getting caught up. So, sorry, I'm a little late this morning. That seems like my normal mantra. I would love to get to the point in my life where I have boringness, and that's not a word, by the way, but just so that I have like calm and I'm just doing day-to-day stuff and not this thing and that thing. But maybe that's like all of our lives, right? Like maybe no one has a perfectly life where they get to do all these additional things. And anyway, I am here this morning, and it was a little cold outside this morning. I went for a nice walk this morning. There was a little bit of sunshine, and it always is really refreshing to me. That's the way I start my day, is go for a walk. And so I am ready to share with you today my Casing Tuesday card. But first, let's take a look at what we're going to be casing. Casing also means copying. And you can change things when you're copying, and that's what I always tend to do. And so this group that we have, it's called Casing Tuesday, and we have a Facebook page for that, a Facebook group. And you can join in. You can also do what I am doing, take your card and give it a makeover. Show us what you would do with this layout. Don't just rely on me. You can go see my card later. I'll post it over on the group. And if you want the link to that Facebook group, just look below in the description of the video there, and you will find the link. And you'll also find links to a lot of different things. Like today, I'm going to be talking about my Stampin Blends chart. You want that? Go check that out down in the description. So we're going to be talking about a lot of different things, and I bet you I have a link for that in the description of my video. So let's take a look at the card that we're going to be copying today. So this card is a bit like of a long and skinny card, and I transitioned it over into a regular medium card, and I'm going to show you how I did that. But I love the layout of this card. This lends itself well to having a greeting in the center and then just putting something behind. So I did switch things up a little bit. Let me pull up the sketch. Yolanda did our sketch, so these are the measurements for the card as is in the catalog. So if you want to make your card like that, then use these measurements. And if you want to make a card more like the regular size card, then stay tuned for my measurements. So I'm going to pull up my card right here. This is my card, and you can see I still kept kind of the same type of layout, but I switched things up quite a bit because I wanted to use the Rocking Horse bundle. I've been away for 4 weeks, and I had Christmas product that I hadn't even used yet. So guess what? I am going to be using the Rocking Horse bundle today, and I will be using it on Friday. So if you want to see how to do something really cool with a rocking horse, stay tuned for Friday. I actually haven't designed yet, so I hope it's cool. My Friday projects tend to either be a card that's like a fancy fold or something fun, or it's a box or something you can put stuff in. So Fridays are always kind of a little bit more advanced, but you'll get to see something technical that you can do with the rocking horse. So I love this card because this is just a simple card that you can do with this bundle, and I'm glad I get a chance to use it. We have, in a couple weeks, we have the retiring list for the holiday catalog coming out. So then some things will go on sale during that time. But what I recommend, if there's anything that you dearly want out of the holiday catalog, get it now so that you can use it for Christmas. And sometimes things sell out really quickly once we know that they're going to be retired. And with holiday catalogs, a big chunk of the products do retire. And I should mention, my brain is such that my brain is just all over the place today, but that's the retiring list. We actually do have a sale that started today that has annual catalog products on it. So you can get 10% off of embellishments from the annual catalog, 15% off of ink pads, ink refills, the Stampin Blends I'm using today. Where did they go? All of these Stampin Blends that I'm going to be coloring with today, they are 15% off. Stock up. And then 20% off of annual catalog, designer series paper, and cardstock. Stock up on some cardstock. That's what I'm going to do at 20% off. It's an awesome deal. So stock up on that. What else can I tell you? Oh, my host code. Please use my host code if your order is under $150. If you spend $50 or more using this host code, you will get my gift of the month, which are the iridescent pearls. These guys, and you'll get a full pack, not my sad half or less pack. We're going to be using these today on a project, and I'm going to show you how you can color them with the blends. And that is for an order of $50 or more using the host code that I have up on my screen. My host code changes every month, but you can always find it on my blog. If you go under the host code tab, I always post the new code each month, and I try and do that the night before in case you want to place an order on the first really early. So it's always on my host code page, but when I'm doing my lives and stuff, I show my current host code of the month. All right, I've done so much talking. I want to show you, I want to do some stamping now. So let me pop over to my stamping spot. And again, here's my card. Let's start making it. Let's start with making the rocking horse, because that's probably the hardest part of the card. It's not hard. I've got my rocking horse stamp on an E block. That's probably the best size for it. And I've got my Memento ink. And you can see I cut my other rocking horse out of this other side of the cardstock. And I was experimenting here with Stampin Blends. So you can definitely do that. Sometimes it's easier to color when your piece is not die cut yet. But if you are prone to making die cutting mistakes, then I suggest you stamp, then die cut, and then color. Because if you do a beautiful job coloring and then you mess up the die cutting, you're going to be very upset. So maybe we should do the die cutting first. And guess what? Look, the way I cut this, it's not going to fit through. So let's just trim this off a little bit. When I did my first one, I sent it through my big machine, but I wanted to show you how this will fit through the mini machine. So we're going to open this baby up. Nice little mini machine. And I haven't even shown you the rocking horse bundle yet, have I? I'll do that in a second. So I've got my plates. Let me grab one more plate. So for the mini machine, you're going to get all of these plates as you see here. This one is the suggested base plate for cutting. It's the number 1 plate. Let me turn this around. It's the number 1 plate. It's the suggested cutting plate, but for some machines it might be a little too tight. So that's when you'll want to switch to the number 3 plate. How you'll know it's too tight is if it does not crank through. Like when you've got this in it, you stop and you pause and you don't keep going. You'll just put this one aside and use your number 3 plate. It comes with your machine. Then I'll put down the clear plate. We're going to grab, these are the Rocking Horse dies. They come, if you want to, you can get them as a bundle with the Rocking Horse stamp set. And when you purchase these together, you can save 10% over purchasing them separately. So we are going to grab the Rocking Horse, and I'll pop this on here. And I'm going to grab some labeling and cover up tape. You can also use the top of a Post-it note. And I'll just take a second to make sure that I can see all the exterior lines of the Rocking Horse. Just kind of keep shifting it here and there until I feel like it is, like it's centered. All right. Okay. I think we're good. Now just carefully place that on top, and we're going to run it through. So if I made a mistake in die cutting at this point, I haven't colored the whole Rocking Horse, and I won't be in a very bad mood that I spent time coloring, only to realize that I did a terrible job die cutting, or it shifted. And so there is my Rocking Horse. So we're all good, and now I can start coloring. Come here. Put that on there. We'll pop away my mini because I think that's all the die cutting I need to do today. So, but it was so much easier to do that than to cut it out, because cutting this negative section in here would have been really hard. The outside might have been okay, but all right, let's grab our Stampin' Blends. I've got a bunch of different colors that I'm using. And I'll start off with my Crumb Cake Light, and that's what I'm going to use for the body of the horse. And this is probably the hardest section because it's the biggest section. And I'm going to kind of draw myself a little circle. That's going to be where the light is going to reflect off the horse. So I'll just come around, keep going. I did go back afterwards and deepen this a little bit with the brush side of my Crumb Cake blends. So we'll just, for now, we're just going to do the light, because I kind of want to, oh, I forgot to put a light spot there, but let's do a little circle there anyway. There'll be a lighter spot. Sometimes I get a little too ambitious. Okay, so let's do this for a second. Let's come in. I'm going to circle a spot here. And when I come in, for some reason, my brush side has got a little bit more ink to come out, so it's coming out just a little bit darker. So that's why I came back in to do it with that. And it helps to have it already outlined for some reason. I don't know why. It just does. Because if I come in and try and do these other things, like I don't have to go all the way to the edge then with my brush. So let's just come in. I don't know why. It's just easier to do that. And come and do it later. The face. And the ear. And I'm just going to hit this part with the brush tip. Do that and that. There we go. All right, that is step one. And then I'm going to come in. Oh, how did I decide my colors? I'm going to show you this chart right here. This is my Stampin Blends chart for the year when we get new colors each year. So this is my one for this year. And you can go ahead and print off a chart. It will be blank. And then as you get colors, you fill in the spot of the colors you have, and that way you can see what color you want to use. And I've got a lot of these natural tones down here. They're very hard to tell apart. So this way you have them all down here, and you can see which color you want to use for whatever you're using. And so I also label my blends with these little labels. I print them out on basic white, and I punch them out with a 3/8 inch circle punch. I'm running across my room to grab this. This is the 3/8 inch circle punch. It is not a Stampin' Up! Product right now, but you can get it on Amazon, and I'll left you a link down below if you don't have one, because that's the perfect size to punch out the little labels. And then I attach these with mini glue dots. So this is just a handy dandy little labeling punch for your Stampin' Blends. It's well worth it, because otherwise, like certain colors, you know, I have these in a little shelf and I can grab these and organize these perfectly. I only have one side labeled. Some people like to label both sides. You can definitely do that. I just always stick them and label out, so it doesn't really matter to me. Okay, so we are going to use the medium blends, and then look on the side of your blends and look for 600. Okay, so I've got that labeled medium and 600, and that way you'll know what exact shade this is. And we're going to do the tail with the 600 and the mane, and the little tuft of hair right above the nose, right on the face there. Okay. Then we're going to come in. We've already used our crumb cake. We've used our medium and the 600. We're going to do the bottom right here with our medium deep, and it's labeled as 300 on here. Medium deep 300, because there's a pair of mediums, there's a pair of medium deeps, and there were 2 different shades in each of those groupings, and you want to make sure that you grab the right one if you want to color just like me. So I am just taking this and coloring it, and the lovely thing about Stampin' Blends is it doesn't leave dots or streaks when you lift up. The alcohol blends the ink together, so you're left with a very nice deep dark color. Some of the colors are lighter, but a lot of times with Stampin' Blends it's kind of dark coloring, so that's why sometimes it's nice to leave like a lighter spot. You can also do shading, but on small images, I don't really feel all the time that it's super necessary, especially if you have other things going on with your card. One little thing I also want to stamp here, and I don't know if you can see that, there's a little holly leaf right there. I'm going to come back in with my memento. And good morning to everyone who's joined me this morning. I will talk to you all afterwards. If you have any questions for me, please ask them. Okay, and there I just stamped the holly right there. Just want to let that have an opportunity to dry before I color in that area. So now we're going to take, this is Smoky Slate Dark. I tend to use Smoky Slate a little bit more than I do the black, even if the color is black. I'm going to do the hooves here, because that way at least you can still see the outline lines. If I use black, it's not going to show you the outline anymore, so I tend to use basic gray dark even sometimes for black. Okay, then I'm going to use Wild Wheat, one of our new in colors, and this is the light Wild Wheat. And I'm going to use that for the stirrups. I'm just outlining them. And I'll use it for the saddle. I will use it for all of the reins. This is so cute. Right here and right there. Okay, I think I've got all the golden areas. Then next I'm going to take Shaded Spruce Light, and I will just carefully outline these little sections. I'll do the holly leaves, and down here at the bottom I have done this area, and then we'll come in with the Real Red Light, and I'll just do all of this area right here. The berries, and I'm doing red tassels. All right, I think I have finished coloring the horse. I also colored the jewels. So that's kind of a fun thing that you can do. You've probably seen this before. I like to use the darker of two blends when I'm coloring jewels. So basically, when you start coloring on them, you're going to need to work it just a little bit, because it just takes a little bit of time for that color to start sticking on there, and you're kind of layering the color on there. You can use the brush tip too, but so you'll just keep going until you feel like you've got a good layer of color. And it's good to just let them dry for just a little bit. So that's why I'm doing mine now, and then we'll assemble the rest of the card. I'm using the Shaded Spruce Dark, just layer, layer, layer. Yeah, at first you think that the color isn't actually sticking, but you just need to kind of run over it a little bit. Let it dry just a little bit. Dry. Layer. All right. So there are I've got a red one and I've got a green one. So we'll just let those dry for a moment, set it aside, and we will come in. Let's do some more stamping. I love this greeting, "Have a Rockin' Christmas," because that really goes well. There is also a Merry Christmas in the stamp set if you would prefer. There's a really nice Merry Christmas. You'd probably just need to make your little banner just a little bit taller. So this one I cut to 3 inches by 3/8 of an inch, just regular basic white. I'm going to ink this up, and I want to stamp it fairly close to the bottom because the top has to fit on. So there's my little stamped greeting. Okay, and then we'll grab our other pieces. I've got a half sheet of Real Red cardstock. Real Red is the perfect Christmas red. And so this piece measures 8.5 by 5.5. And I scored this in half at the 4 1/4 inch mark. You can do this on your scoring board, or you can also do it on your Stampin' Up! Trimmer, because it's got a scoring blade. Then I'll fold it in half, and I'll use my bone folder to smooth this down so it will lay flat for us. Then I've got some paper. This paper is a very nice Christmas paper. It's got your reds, your greens, and it's called The Joy of Christmas. So on one side, you'll have a non-pattern. So there's wood textures. So we've got some green gingham and wood on the back. I've already shown you this one. There's this green leaf one. It's got red on the back. Let's see, I think there's at least one more pattern, two more patterns. We've got this red gingham with wood texture and music on the background. And then we've got this red berry one with the green on the background. So it's a really good paper for making Christmas cards. So I cut a piece to 5.5 by 3.25 inches. We'll grab some glue. I debated on whether or not to use the other side like they did in the original card, but then I just felt I needed to pop these beautiful berries on the card. So I'm just centering this, smooth this out, and then I've got a piece of the back of one of the papers. This measures 5 by 2. See, one of that paper. If you wanted to, you could also use a piece of shaded spruce here. This is shaded spruce in color, but it's got some texture to it. So it's kind of nice. So I'll just center this one as well. Okay. Then we're going to take the rocking horse and we're going to glue it kind of to the side over here. Look at the blends. They actually do bleed through. They're very powerful. So if you have to show the back side of the rocking horse, but you want to color it, you'll just cut yourself an extra shape to back it up and glue those two together. So let's just kind of decide where we want to put this one. Okay. And then we'll put our Have a Rocking Christmas across here. It's hard to cover up an image, but it's like that layered effect that actually, it always looks really nice when things are kind of layered together. Find it hard to do that, but that's what Casing Tuesday helps me with, is it helps me come up with a layout that I wouldn't ordinarily do. There, on the other one, the other card, it had like holly leaves in the background, and this one I have the rocking horse in the background, so you can really change things up. So earlier I cut myself, this is an online exclusive. It's the gold and silver trim combo pack. You get a roll of the gold and a roll of the silver. This is perfect for holiday gift wrapping or card making. And so I just tied myself a little gold bow and we're going to put it up here. I love that gold and silver, like a little ribbon like this is really, it's not super intrusive, you know. I've grabbed a little mini glue dot off of there. It's just enough of a bling factor to accent your card without overwhelming it. See how it kind of just sticks off to the side without overwhelming my rocking horse. And then we'll come back in with our, I should use our Take Your Pick tool. I'm always going back to my piercer, but this is a tool we actually sell. So I'm going to take my little red, this has a little spatula on it, which is kind of cool. And I'm just going to pop that on there and grab the, come on, the little shaded spruce one. We'll put that one here. And then we'll actually grab one that's in white and put it on there too. So I've got red, green, and white. And I think that's it. I think that's all there is to my card. So on this particular card, the biggest deal on this card was spending the time coloring it. The rest of the card was just using the designer series paper to accent. So when you have an element like that that you need to do a lot on, like say you were going to make a lot of these as Christmas cards, what I would do, I would stamp a bunch of them, die cut them, and then take your colors and sit in front of the TV or put on some Christmas music or put on your favorite audiobook and then just listen to that and just enjoy coloring. And then afterwards you can put all the pieces together to create the card. But it's not a hard card. You just have to do the coloring part. So I hope you like that. And I will be using the Rocking Horse bundle on Friday to create a fun project. I will be designing that either on Wednesday or Thursday for you, and then we'll see what I come up with. I'm looking forward to using it. I bought the Rocking Horse bundle with an idea in mind. We'll see if I can execute it or not. That's the way I purchase products out of the catalogs. I look at it, and if I have an idea, if I like it, I'm like, but now I have to have an idea that I want to do with it. And so if I don't have an idea that instantly kind of comes to mind, then I usually pass on it. Not because it wouldn't be a cute card but I just don't have that instant inspiration with it. So this was one that sparked me. Even though not that I don't like horses, I just didn't grow up riding them or anything like that, so I don't have a very close connection to horses, so it's not something that I normally would gravitate to. But I know there's a lot of horse people out there, and rocking horses are kind of special, so very nostalgic, and I love the greeting that goes with it. So let's see what we can make with the rocking horse and make it kind of like an old-fashioned Christmas. I think it would also, I don't know, are there any birthday greetings? This is definitely designed to be more, I'm just looking at this right now. There are no birthday greetings on here, but you could make this a birthday card too, because the horse itself does not have any Christmas detailing on it. I put the holly leaf on, but you don't have to do that. You could, stamp the bow and die cut the bow and put it on there. It doesn't have to be a Christmas card, so you could use it right into spring if you wanted to. All right, let me talk to all of you and say good morning. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning, Janine and Mary and Dee. Good to see you, Dee. I missed you at our team meeting on Sunday. I know sometimes people have things on Sundays though, so it's hard to find a day when the whole team can meet. It's always a bit of a challenge, but I did miss you. Hello, Marty. Marty said if you have any of that paper left after Christmas, you can use the back sides for non-Christmas too. That's a really good idea. This paper has that wood trim on it, and even like this pulling it out, this green paper, it kind of reminds me like a picnics, and the red paper, this one, I would say that would be good for Valentine's Day too. So it's got a lot of versatility. Thanks for pointing that out, Marty. That's a good little tip. Deborah says she loves the color combinations. Thank you. And you know what? It's red and green. It's Christmas. You can't go wrong with that, right? Mary said, so cute. Dee said, very cute card. Hello, Lori. Nice to see you this morning. She said, adorable. I need to add this bundle to my stash. Yeah, it is. Well, wait to see what I do with it on Friday, and then see if you still want it. I'm sure you will, because I love what I do on Fridays. Marty says, I love it. Estelle says, Thanks. Mary said pastel colors would be cute for a birthday card. Yes, yes, they would. I would definitely change up the colors a bit for a birthday card. Marty says she loves horses. She's never had one, but I love them. I love them from afar. They are an animal. They I guess they're like a flight animal, and I think it takes like a special person to connect with them. And I don't have that instant connection with horses. I have that with dogs, and even a bit with cats. But with horses, they're a large animal, and you don't really know what you're going to get with a horse, right? So I've just never been around them enough to develop that kind of bond. But I truly do love all animals. They make my heart sing when I see them, especially around here. I've seen, since I've been back, I've seen a buck and a doe in our backyard twice now, and I couldn't get a good picture of them, but it's kind of nice to see that. Of course, we've got some wild turkeys roaming about, and I'm a little nervous for them with Thanksgiving coming up, but hopefully they're too scrawny and wild that no one will want to grab one of them. I'm just kidding. I really, truly don't think any of the neighbors would want any of these wild turkeys, but they've been kind of meandering through our yard. We have a crabapple tree in the front, and two of the turkeys thought it would be cool just to jump up in the tree and eat the dried crab apples off the tree. So that was kind of fun to see. I love nature. Marty says, my husband knew the owner of the Heinz Hitch. Their Percherons so huge like Clydesdales. How wonderful. Well, I hope some of you will be inspired to make a rocking horse card. Definitely go and check out that sale that we have going on today. If you need to stock up on card stock, get some ink refills, get some Stampin Blends. Like, check out your Stampin Blends. Make sure they're all still got power in them. I might grab a few backups for my most used colors. And cardstock, we do go through a lot of that. So get your most used colors and stock up. All right. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you, some of you, on Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard, and I will be on my YouTube channel then. Have a great day, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.